Hey everybody, welcome to Smashing Game Time. It is day 2 of our game of the year. We've got 3 more categories for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before we get into that, as always, find us wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. That's right, word of mouth is king here. Josh, how you feeling after day 1?
Well, we got all the very sad, depressing, and disappointment things out of the way. Now it's all about the fun, creative side, honestly, of the industry.
Yeah. I feel like the categories today are a lot more fun. You don't have to have had played, at least in one of our categories. You don't have to have played the game to have a judge like a solid
Two
judgment
categories,
about it.
technically.
Yeah, very true, very true. Uh, I mean, the categories today are best box art / cover, best indie game, and best moment. Best moment in gaming. So hey, we ended yesterday with biggest disappointment. We're ending today with a really cool moment in gaming. That'll be like specifically in game. That won't be like, oh hey, like 2023 was a bananas years in gaming. Nothing
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Josh, you just want to jump into this first one?
Yeah, let's just honestly balls deep. Let's do it.
Balls deep. All right, and remember, hey, if you're joining us for the first time, for these categories, we're picking the top 3. So we're whittling down all our nominees to the top 3. We'll have a number 1, we'll have a number 2, we'll have a number 3. First category is best box art / cover.
And for those in audio, we will try our best to maybe give you a brief description. But honestly, for the best results, you might want to watch this one.
This is a very visual one. It's so visual that I did a GIMP. Page.
And it's actually pretty good, guys. I would highly recommend. If not, at least I'm assuming Nick's gonna post this on social media. At least watch this. Not watch, but look at it.
I'll put this on the Twitter. I'll put this on the Instagram. I made a TikTok for the first time in a few months, and I was instantly disappointed and remembered why I stopped making TikToks.
Yeah, you were supposed to send me videos, and you never did.
It's whatever. Hey, our nominees for best cover / box art are, and they're all over the place, so I'm going to do my best here to dig, like, there's some that might be buried. So we have Starfield, the Dead Space remake, The Last Spell, Baldur's Gate 3, Dredge, Cocoon, Wall World, and I'll move that up so you can see a little bit of it. It looks really nice. Alan Wake 2, Return, Mr. Sun's Hatbox, Slay the Princess, Armored Core 6, Octopath Traveler 2, Killer Frequency, El Paso Elsewhere. I'm covering that one up. Nope, it's all covered. Humanity, and then Jusant.
You might want to bring Return out a little more because 2023 is blocking it.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Return is right there. Like I said, it's a little messy. But we're gonna start to, as we start to clear these out, we'll have a better picture of who our top dogs are.
As the girls always say, Nick, bless this mess.
Bless this mess. Eat, pray, love. Laundry.
Laundry, okay. Well, I was gonna say, something like profiling, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna say girls, and then you went ahead and justified women working at home.
No, I was saying signs that were all over the wall, Joshua. Come on,
but
man.
You didn't. I mean, I'm throwing it out there. I'm just saying.
You need to go back to your comedy classes, sir. All right. I don't remember if I said Mr. Sun's Hatbox. Oh, Blanc is also up here. Blanc was a very pretty one. For those who were watching, for those who saw, wow, my brain. For those who saw Godiso, our winners during Godiso were The Last Spell, which is a beautiful box, Blanc, and then Octopath Traveler 2. So they came up from Godiso, and they're still in the running here. These are all very beautiful boxes, very good-looking boxes. If I walked past any of these in the store, I'd be like, oh my, that game looks great. The only one I couldn't, well, you know what? Actually, a lot of these don't have physical releases, but Alan Wake, Alan Wake 2 is the one that stands out because, you think Remedy, you think bigger game like that, you think, oh, physical release. Not the case, but I'm not going to ding it for it.
Well, I've already got the first one I want to remove, and I have a very good reason.
All right, who do you want to get out of here?
Starfield.
All right, what's the beef with Starfield here?
It's not doing anything unique. You know what I'm getting vibe wise from this? I'm thinking like a Star Wars. I mean, it literally has. It almost has like the visual of a Star Wars cover.
So I can see that. I do like. I what I do like about it is that it could have been a lot worse. It could have been. I mean, yes, there are some faces on here, but it's not like egregious like a Marvel or a Star Wars cover where like, oh, we have to have Tony Stark's face on the box, and you have to see Tom Holland's face, and you have to see Daisy Ridley's face. There's like two faces on here. They're not even looking anywhere near us. The one's looking up. It's kind of creating that sense of wonder, like, oh, what's out there? And they do a very good orange blue aesthetic. I am always aware when those happen, by the way. But this is one that wasn't like jarring to where I was like, "Fuck you, man."
I mean, Nick, I'm gonna go ahead and post this. No, don't look at that. I don't know what the heck just happened.
What'd you do?
It pulled something it wasn't supposed to. I don't even know what this is. We're gonna fix that.
I don't even know where you're at. So we can cut Starfield. I'm moving it. I'm moving it out of the boundary. Goodbye, Starfield. Look at that. We're already looking a little cleaner.
It just looked very much like the Phantom Menace cover or poster.
Mm.
That's what I was trying to pull up, and for some reason it pulled a whole bunch of bullshit. I'm like, ooh, I don't know what this is. Never mind.
So looking here, El Paso elsewhere. Let's see. Yeah, let me move it out so everyone can see it. I liked it because it kind of had. Remember the PlayStation 2 game 13?
Yeah.
It kind of gave me that vibe. This is the Max Payne indie game. Very, very stylish. Great music. Save that. I'll save that for that category later. It looks fine. I don't think it's gonna. I mean, compared to our three previous winners, I don't even think it stands up against them. So I think El Paso elsewhere can go.
Agreed.
Goodbye, El Paso. Let's see here. Okay.
I'm gonna pick another one of yours to torture.
Who are you torturing?
Mr. Sun's Hatbox.
Now that's a little darling. That's like a cute little
Nick. I prefer Little Gators game.
See, I didn't nominate Little Gators game because I didn't think I had a chance here.
I'm shooketh.
But yeah, this is. I mean, it's fine. It's cute. It doesn't really convey too much, though. I mean,
honestly, Nick, I'm not gonna lie. If I saw this at a store, and it happened to just be like maybe on an end cap or at the very end of the aisle, I would almost assume it's either a movie or a book.
It is very childish,
and that's not like saying that's a bad thing. It's just seeing this in public. Like I said, it was at the very end. I would almost assume it's not a game.
It's very colorful, but we can cut it. I still think it looks good. It just doesn't. I mean, you would have no idea that this was a Metal Gear Solid 5 like.
Yeah,
you would have no idea. Okay, so Mr. Sun's Hatbox can go. What was that? The 9 minute. I need to remember 9 minute mark. Oop, I'm on the wrong screen. All right, so Mr. Sun's Hatbox can go. Goodbye, Mr. Sun. Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, we were just complaining about Starfield doing like the face thing.
Now, see, I'm trying to think. Is it kind of gives off I mean, same thing, almost a similar thing to Star Wars, but like I guess maybe more Star Trek ish, or maybe even Harry Potter at that point.
Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win numerous awards in numerous different categories, not just in this show, but across the board. I don't think it wins. I don't think it ever wins best cover.
No. I
mean, it looks, don't get me wrong, it looks great, but all you're giving me is characters.
Yeah.
You're giving me the twink vampire boy. What's his name? Alistar? Let's clean this up a little bit.
I think we can get rid of Dead Space as well. It's honestly just a rehashing of the actual first cover.
It's very brown cover.
Yeah.
I'm okay with cutting Dead Space. For those listening, they can't really see what we're doing here. Let's see what we have left. So still in the running, we have Return, The Last Spell, Dredge, Cocoon, Alan Wake 2, Wall World, Blanc, Octopath Traveler 2, Armored Core 6, Slay the Princess, Jusant, Humanity, and Killer Frequency. Killer Frequency, I haven't played the game personally. I'm aware of it. It is the game where you are a radio DJ and the people calling into your station are being killed. And it sounds really cool. The cover, I think, looks really cool. I think the game is set in the 80s, so it's kind of leaning on that 80s vibe. You've got a lot of pink, purples, and red, and a little bit of blue from like your little like on-air sign. I think it's cool, and I think it can stay for right now.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
That's the dark horse of this race right now. I do have a cut that I want to propose though.
I'm listening.
I love how cheeky Humanity is. You got the little dog up top. You got all the faceless humans walking towards their death. I think it's cool. It conveys what the game is in a sense. But other than that, I mean, not the greatest poster or cover.
Same can be said, honestly, with Armored Core 6. It's cool. And honestly, visually, it's stunning. And like when you actually play it, but this cover is not really speaking much to it other than it's a mech that's down.
All right, I'm going to cut Humanity. You want to cut Armored Core?
I'm going to cut Armored Core.
All right, goodbye, Armored Core. Let me clean up a little bit here. We just did some heavy lifting there.
Oh, we got to get to 3.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
What's Bender say? Like, I know, baby. We love you, Bender. I know, baby. I know. Let's see here. Move that up. Move this down. There's still a lot of games here.
Returned is just really blah. I mean, as far as like, it's all the same green.
So I wanted to give Return a day in the sun because last time when we did this category, I nominated it, and it was just the space guy with a green background, like very basic. And then the next day, he updated the solo dev updated it to this. And I don't know how good this is gonna look if I blow it up. Let me take a look.
Probably not gonna look that good.
It looks okay.
It did better.
It looks okay. It looks okay. Here, let me move it. It's the like these are all the boss enemies, like some of the boss enemies in the background. I thought that was really cool. Very, very cool little key art. Very stylistic. I like the green. I like the use of the visor being whited out, like there's a light on it.
I mean, when it's one up, it does look better. But I mean, if that's what you pulled, like that's what the dev himself actually used, like that's the actual size. It's not doing it justice.
Well, I mean, I pulled it from the internet, so the size is probably.
But I'm saying is if that is what he used as like his size, like it's his, like it came directly from him.
Are you saying the dev is too small?
No, I'm saying the dev made it too small. There's a difference.
I'm okay with cutting it. I just wanted to give the new art a day to be celebrated. It's celebrated. It's now gone. If I can get it out of here.
I just want to talk about it because I actually do like it a lot. I don't know why. Slay the Princess.
It slaps. I hate saying it slaps, but it does slap.
So like the princess portion is like I'm not saying it's bad, but it's like mid compared to the background. The background has my attention so much, and it's grabbing at me.
Well, there's a lot going on here. So for the listeners, Slay the Princess is the narrative comedy game. If you're an avid listener, we actually interviewed the devs a few episodes ago. Go check that out. But so it's a horror game. There's layers here. So the game's called Slay the Princess. You've got this hand-drawn princess looking all innocent with a word bubble coming out of her saying, "Please don't." I think that's comedic. First of all, that's very comedic. But then behind her, you see the shattered mirror and all these different creatures like staring, and they're kind of scary looking. Like
they're very intense. Yeah, they're very intense.
Like this little liger, tiger, cougar one right here is pretty scary. This little this one with the white eyes is kind of giving me little chills here. And there are other ones that are like kind of hidden behind other things, but you get a sense that like, oh, okay, like the game's being presented as funny up front, but in the back it's like, oh fuck, like that's kind of
dark as hell.
Yeah. I
I just
do
wanted to mention it because I think it just looks really good.
I do like keeping that for now. We got hey, the horror games are very well represented this year.
Although I think Dredge can probably go ahead and take a back seat because we have a lot of huge. Like, it's not saying it's bad. Obviously, everybody we've nominated, we want to represent because they look fantastic. And box art is a hidden gem now. It is like the half brother who's thrown into the basement and only given like one meal a day.
Yeah, you don't see it because you're not going like the gaming sections of like brick and mortar stores are just sad
Yeah,
now. They're sad little places, so you got to celebrate it where you can. I've I think I mentioned this the last time. My beef with Dredge's cover is that it doesn't do very much to hint at like um, the horror elements. Like, yeah, swordfish with a red eye, but other than that, it's like
I would assume this is just like a friendly let's go fishing game.
if you were sending a parent to go buy this for somebody, the parent would have no idea. They'd be like,
It's a fishing game.
it's a fishing game. Yeah, there's a lighthouse. So I'm okay with cutting Dredge. I think in a lighter year, Dredge would be in the running though. Josh,
Yeah,
do any of the returning champs get cut?
Octopath 2.
You think so?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Hold on. It's been covered up most of this. Let me,
You were so adamant about keeping it though, and I played it.
dude. It's beautiful.
Yeah, but guess what? The last spell is definitely staying in the list. That fucking cover is metal as shit, and I
It's
love
so
it.
fucking metal. If you were listening to this, do yourself a favor. Google the last spell game cover, and it'll be one where the guy's swinging the sword up like it's a golf club, and you'll be like, God damn, that is metal. And
And
then
not only that, go ahead and pull up the album while you're staring at it.
do yourself a favor.
Do yourself a favor.
Do yourself a favor.
And even then, Blanc is still. It's also beautiful. It's right there with Slay the Princess as far as it's still that black and white aesthetic. It's hand drawn, but it looks so fantastic.
Yeah, this is Octopath. So Octopath, they're doing the orange blue thing that posters and covers are like famous for now. That's very like, just design 101. But they do a really good job of it. It's your party is at the campfire. You've got the people facing the fire are lit in orange. The people looking away from it, their backsides are like, covered in the darkness. You've got the starry sky above them, and it's just very aesthetically pleasing. Like, I will never play Octopath Traveler 2, but if I saw that like walking by, I'd be like, man, this anime ass shit looks cool.
Not even remotely close to anime ass shit.
That's how uninitiated I
Educated you
am.
are.
Uninitiated into anime I am. I think we can cut Jusant.
Okay.
I like your character walking towards the mountain that he's getting ready to go climb. I do like. There's something about font. Like, I'm a font guy, and I really like the font that they used for this. I don't know why. It's just this messy little like squiggly font, and it's very pleasing. But I mean, other than the fact that you're walking to the mountain, it's just kind of basic. Nothing wrong with being basic, but not in this category. Here, let's do a recap because I feel like we're due for a recap. So remaining for best cover / box art is The Last Spell, Blanc, Octopath Traveler 2, Killer Frequency, Alan Wake 2, Wall World, Slay the Princess, and Cocoon.
I think we should go ahead and talk about the two we haven't talked about: Cocoon and Wall World.
Okay. I'll talk about Wall World. Wall World is when you a game that's been in your wish list for forever goes on sale like really 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 cheap, and then you buy it, and then months later you're like, oh shit, I still haven't played that. That's my relationship with Wall World. I think the thing that really stands out to me on this one, and I'm gonna make this bigger actually. Zoop. Oh, it's okay bigger. So you've got a guy holding onto a ship that's like attached to a wall. He's shooting down at an enemy flying at him. You see an enemy in the background. I really like what they did with the logo. I really like that, and my head's covering it for those watching. Like you've got half of it like outside of the wall, and then the other half is in a square that resembles the wall. It's again, you got a little bit of that orange blue going on, but I don't know. I'm really vibing with it.
But that's just it, Nick. We have strong competitors in this right now. Do you think it stands up against Last Spell?
Nothing on this list is standing up to Last Spell, Josh. I'm gonna have you stop that right now.
No, but I'm going to throw it out there, Nick. We have two to pick out of the remainders. That's the problem.
So if I'm looking at Killer Frequency and Wall World, I think I'm cutting Wall World.
Cut it. And then Cocoon. I mean, I know you've played it. You said you enjoyed every moment of it. I like this cover. It to me, it's like it's revealing of the world is always much bigger than it actually is.
So what I really like about it is Cocoon is the indie game from I think it was once the lead he was once the lead developer on Limbo and Inside. Don't quote me on it. I'm not 100% sure. But they've leaned heavily into, hey, we've got people who worked on those over here. But I think what this cover does really well is something that those covers do really well. It hints at something more, but doesn't give you a whole lot. Like Limbo was just your guy staring out. Inside, I think, was your boy character staring out a window outside. And this kind of has that same vibe as Inside's cover, if I'm remembering correctly. It's your little bug guy staring into these orbs that are all inside of each other. And like you said, it's hinting at, things are larger than you believe, or things are smaller, like the world is smaller. Like it could go either way. I think it can stay for now. I'm like looking at these. I think if there are two that we could cut right now, it would be Octopath and Alan Wake.
I'd be fine with both of those.
There's like an Octopath Traveler fan listening, like, no, defend it, defend it, defend it.
Good. Give in to the hate.
Goodbye, Octopath. And the Alan Wake 2 one, I mean, it's cool.
It's cool.
It's him like looming because it's like, what the fuck? Where the fuck is Alan Wake? Is he in the lake? And then it's Saga like in this red marsh. I guess it's lit by like brake lights or something, but yeah, it can go. And then number 5. So we've got The Last Spell, Blanc, Slay the Princess, Cocoon, and Killer Frequency.
Nick, I have one important question now, since we got them right next to each other.
Yeah.
Blanc versus Slay the Princess.
Oh, they're both doing. So for those who don't know, Blanc is one of those twin stick multiplayer games. You're a baby fawn maybe, and then a wolf cub or a wolf pup that are working together to get back to your families in a big snowstorm. It's hand drawn. It's a beautiful little game. The cover is the deer and the wolf pup staring at each other. I've always liked the logo because the C is like the two animals like nuzzling each other.
To enter, one leaves.
Well, I've been doing a lot of talking. It's your turn, pup.
Of the two?
Yeah.
Honestly, Slay the Princess. There's just something about that background. I mean, just something in the cover in general. It's just so appealing to me. Like, don't get me wrong, Blanc is very cute and is a very attractive game. But Slay the Princess, she has a smile and says, "Please don't." And in the background, you have these menacing figures. You're like, "What the fuck?" Like, I'm very interested. Like, even before you said you were going to do the interview, I kind of want to play it based on the description you gave me. I still want to play it. It is on my wish list right now.
Fucking play it, dude. Stop wishing. Start playing.
I want to. Or Blanc. I mean, we've tried. And this is not to disrespect it anyway, because I mean, it looks like it's a fun game, and I would enjoy it. We tried several times to stream it, and it never worked. And honestly, I don't know if it's Nick's internet's really shitty, or if it's something that you're meant to play together on in a single setting.
It just never happened. I even had the name for like what the series of us playing that was gonna be. You
I'm
did I
listening.
did I tell you what it was?
No.
The bros were Blankentown, or the boys were Blankentown.
Oh Jesus.
It was just so good.
So I'm gonna say Slay the Princess. There's just something about it that just grabs my attention. I like it. I would definitely pick it up at the store. Or Blanc, I think if I had to pick between the two, I'm just gonna go Slay the Princess.
I'm saluting Blanc because I still think it's a beautiful cover, but I'm letting it go because
Oh, Nick, in defense, they're all beautiful covers for the
they
most
are
part.
they are. Okay, so then there are four. We need to get rid of one more. We've got the last spell, Slay the Princess, Killer Frequency, and Cocoon.
I kind of want to go. This is my exact order. The last spell, Slay the Princess, Cocoon.
See, I kind of want to go the last spell, Slay the Princess, Killer Frequency.
I could go. I mean, I could.
No,
I mean, purple.
make your argument, Chief. Make your argument. I want to get you ready for law school, bud.
Well, I'm definitely not going to law school. I couldn't even make it to nursing school.
Hmm.
Um, honestly, I don't care. I got mine too. I honestly, really, realistically, it's not that they're bad. The last spell has my heart. Slay the Princess has my wallet. There's nothing else I can give.
I my thing with Cocoon is that I think the thing that annoys me about it, and again, we're just looking at covers. The fact that they lean so heavily on the inside slash limbo side of things, and it shows in this cover that like you've kind of got the same thing going. It's just a character staring into this world. We have no idea, and as cool as the orbs are, as pleasing as it looks, I just think there's a lot more going on in Killer Frequency. You got the bloody knife, you've got the radio tower with the airwaves coming off, you got the killer font with the knife worked into the font. The knife is underlining killer, and I love it. And it's just a good use of purple. And you know what? I don't think we have enough purple represented in our game covers of the year.
Well, then I say, by God, by Cocoon.
Goodbye, Cocoon. And then I think I agree with your order. I think last spell takes the cake for like last spell last spell was winning this category. We were just arguing.
I mean, literally, we're doing second and third place.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. So yeah, I think it'd be last spell, Slay the Princess, Killer Frequency.
Congrats to everyone. Fantastic jobs.
Fantastic.
Give whoever made your covers, give them a raise.
Give them more money.
They deserve it.
Hold on, I'm trying to, because the sizes are all over the place. But let me get this cleaned up. There we go. So yeah, best cover / box art of 2023. In first place, we've got the last spell. Coming in behind the last spell, we've got Slay the Princess, and then in third place, we've got Killer Frequency. Congratulations to the winners. We got through our first category kind of quick. I was super surprised how unargumentative we were there, Josh.
Well, with only two of us, so I mean, and we still got two more categories today. So let's not
get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, this next one's probably going to be a bunch of you defending every single one of them, and I'm gonna have to remind you we can only have three.
Oh boy! All right, we're doing this. We're doing it live. We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
Next category is best indie game. The nominees are Dredge, El Paso Elsewhere, Planet of Lana, The Last Spell, Chained Echoes, Little Gator Game, Humanity, Homebody, Slay the Princess, Ugly, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, No Sun to Worship, Mr. Sun's Hatbox, Thirsty Suitors, The Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, Pizza Tower, Dave the Diver, ... Battlebit Remastered, Dusant, Sea of Stars, and Cocoon.
Now, there is one I want to ask how you feel. It's Pizza Tower.
I think what Pizza Tower does, I think Pizza Tower does something no other game on this list does, and it takes a time period in gaming and just makes you fucking feel like you're back in that moment, like the early to mid '90s, like moving lines of like the drawings, just the wacky art style, the all the enemies are like objects with faces. I I like
My
it.
problem with it is it felt like every single person and their brother who was streaming was playing it.
Why would that be a bad thing?
It's not. It's to me. At what I don't know, Nick. I'm just that's how I feel like indie games need to be like hidden gems that no one really talks about. Or, I mean, they actually obviously they have to have some success,
I mean,
and I get
if
that.
that's your argument, we get rid of half of these games because a lot of people have played these games.
No, that's well. I mean, honestly, we have to, Nick, no matter what.
I mean, there's a shift right now. Like it used to be, like you've got a lot of triple A's, and then under that you would get like a good chunk of B games, and then indie games. You were just kind of like holding on to the seat of your pants trying to find an indie game, and now those B games have kind of gone away, and like every other game's an indie at this point because triple A. I mean, I think triple A is starting to get away from their yearly releases. I think they're starting to realize
You
that.
you tell that to Activision,
Well, hey now,
Activision and EA. You tell it to those two,
hey
okay?
now.
Biggest contributors,
I think we're gonna see the death of the yearly release. I mean, unless it's something like Madden, like the sports stuff.
which needs to see the death of a yearly release.
You would have thought they would have done like a subscription thing by now. Um, that being said, I don't see Pizza Tower sticking here, just because there are three other games that I'm going to bat for, and it's not going to be Pizza Tower.
And I kind of want to throw BattleBit up there too. It was very short lived.
Yeah, we played that for like a few weeks and then never touched it again.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know it's still a big following, but yeah, we played it for a hot minute. Every YouTuber and their brother or streamer were playing it, and now it's just kind of like,
I think it can stay for now. And yeah, at the end of the day, fuck the streamers. I don't fucking care about those clowns. At the end of the day, this game is doing something that the AAAs aren't. I mean, you are constantly complaining about Battlefield 2042
I
and
am.
other games of that nature. And BattleBit came out and said, "No, hey, like you guys like old Battlefield, right? Like, what if we gave it to you, but you were Minecraft characters?" And I think
Roblox.
if you had told me, yeah, if you had told Roblox, I'm sorry, if you had told me a year or two ago that, hey, you're gonna play something that originated in Roblox and it's basically Battlefield, I would have been like, you're fucking high, get the fuck out of here. And I mean, it kind of took over for a little bit. Like even though it didn't stick around for us, I think it kind of left its mark and kind of like I think AAA devs look at that and like, man, fuck, like shit, damn, like those guys are a smaller team and look at what they're doing.
I hope this wasn't one of your three you're trying to defend.
Maybe you never know.
I mean, like I said, Nick, we have to cut this list. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, and
Josh,
I'll nitpick the shit out of them.
what's the line from Captain America? I can do this all day.
Dredge.
Um, let's skip Dredge for now and go down to Dave the Diver. Let's go down. Let's go. Let's
All right,
stay.
Dave the Diver.
Let's stay in the.
Dave-
Let's stay in the water. And I say we can cut Dave the Diver
Oh, okay.
because it's not. It's like the fact that they leaned on the aesthetic, and I don't like that because it kind of if I'm EA, if I'm Ubisoft, however you say it, I'm saying it both ways for the crazy people yelling at me about the other way I said it. If I'm any of those big dogs and I see Dave the Diver, my thought is, okay, we need to go buy the people who made Thirsty Suitors and have them release a game, and we won't have our name on this. It'll just be you'll be aware of this company making it, but we won't put our name on it. And that kind of scares the shit out of me. I don't like it would be cool that those games and those developers are being backed that way, but also like I don't know, man. It just seems so grotesque to lie about something like that. And not to take away from what the team did with Dave the Diver, it's an amazing game. Both sides of it, the fishing and the restaurant. But I'm not trying to call an apple an orange. I'm not trying to do that.
Sounds like Dave made his last dive.
Sounds like Dave just uh they're radioing in. They found Dave face down in the water.
No, that man was that man was sunk to the bottom and something ate him. All right.
Oh man, I'm Dave's size. Oh my goodness. Uh
I mean, I think in that same realm, then not Sea of Stars. I'm losing my mind. I don't know. I mean, like I said, we have to cut this list down, but I mean, this has been a fantastic year for the indie side of gaming.
I think we can cut the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. It was a fun game when I played it. It's another narrative based game, but it breaks up a lot of the story because in between, so you are a witch and you've been banished for 1,000 years by your coven. And so basically you're in this house just floating in space and you summon this deity to help get yourself unimprisoned. And at this point, your coven's like, okay, you've been in prison for 200 years. Like, we're going to let you have visitors. So the game is a lot of like conversations with your friends from your coven. And, you give them like tarot readings. You're creating tarot cards. There's a lot about, just sisterhood and destiny and stuff like that. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I made shitty looking tarot cards, but doesn't mean there aren't people out there making beautiful ones in this game. Thank you for the great time, Cosmic Wheel. Sisterhood. It can go. Another one I'm willing to cut because I know you're not gonna really. We can cut both Sun games.
Oh, I thought this was gonna be one of your fighting years. Okay.
So Mr. Sun's Hat Box, again, it's that cool side-scrolling, cartoony Metal Gear Solid 5. You're trying to get the hats back for this hat company that were stolen. Just very cartoon, very Saturday morning cartoon, but with a little more violence. I had fun with it. Again, I'm not going to go like I would go to bat for it, but I don't think I would have it in me to like just beat it out of you, Josh. Phrasing. And then No Sun to Worship is the Splinter Cell like that has the weird elements like Metal Gear. It's the one where you go up and it's like punish. And I just really like that aesthetic. I think the PlayStation 1 like blurry look that a lot of games are going for right now is kind of wearing thin on me just because everyone's doing it at the moment. But the little bit of that I played, I did enjoy. And I'm going to go back and beat the rest of those levels because it is very challenging. Oh, and let's see. Let's go through the list here. Left for Best Indie, we have Dredge, El Paso Elsewhere, Planet of Lana, The Last Spell, Chained Echoes, Lil Gator Game, Humanity, Homebody, Slay the Princess, Ugly, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, Thirsty Suitors, BattleBit Remastered, Jusant, Sea of Stars, and Cocoon. So I see some. So Chain of Echoes and Sea of Stars. Of those two, which one do you think is the better game?
Well, I think neither.
I want to know like which one of those two.
I think Chained Echoes is probably better.
How much of Sea of Stars have you played?
I've played enough to know that I like it, but I still think
it's
Chained Echoes is better.
it's Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, basically Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, that type of that aesthetic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Chained Echoes is that one actually came out in December, but we're still counting it. We're giving it its day.
It deserves it.
It deserves it. This is another turn-based RPG, sprite-based. The thing that they do that I really like is that your party can get desynchronized. There's a little bar that like you want to stay in the green, and if like you do certain attacks will like keep you in the green, certain attacks will send you in the red, and you're doing your best to stay in that green to keep your team flowing. And then there's also mechs. There's mechs in there, and they change that up a little bit where you mess with like the levels of the mech. I do think Chained Echoes is the better of the two.
Agreed.
So we'll cut Sea of Stars. Uh,
Nick, Cocoon.
I
If I remember
dude.
correctly,
I
you
don't
literally
know.
said you press one button.
But that's the beauty of Cocoon is its simplicity. The beauty of Cocoon is its simplicity because the thing it does with puzzles is you go into an area and it locks you in that area. So your dumbass doesn't like wander off like, oh, I think I need this thing that was like 4 areas away. And it's like, no, you dumb asshole, stay right here and finish this. And then the fact that you hit A to like interact with things and very simple. I really enjoyed that portion of it. My gripe with Cocoon is that it feels like something is missing. It feels like there's something like I don't know what it is, and so maybe it's me. Maybe the problem is me. But it just feels like and you know what I think I just found it just thinking about it now. I think it's missing the humanity that Limbo and Inside has.
So what I'm hearing is it can be cut.
I still think it can stay because it's just so simple.
We
So
have
simple.
to cut the list, Nick.
Yes, I
Little
know.
Gator game.
I know.
Little Gator game.
Oh, but this has been my game this year, Josh.
I understand that, Nick, but once again, I told you this was going to happen. This is going to be the list that I'm going to have to fight you on because you're like, they're all wonderful. They all deserve an award. You get an award. You get an award.
But what I'm hearing, you know what I'm hearing? You know what I'm hearing? A guy who's offering a problem and not offering a solution. What do you like on this list? What do you like on this list, Josh?
Slay the Princess. I mean, like I said before, I definitely want to play it. It's on my wish list. Chained Echoes. Played it, enjoyed it, would play it again. BattleBit Remastered. I enjoyed it, but it was short-lived. Little Gator Game. You actually turned me. You turned me into a fan of Little Gator Game. To the point where I want to buy it and play it now.
I turned you into a gator.
Dredge is a fishing game. Bye. I don't care. I'll pass it elsewhere. Max Payne lookalike. I like the concept. Do I think it's going to stand up and be top 3? Probably not. It needs to go. Humanity. If I wanted to watch a sea of people go to their deaths,
no. Oh no.
I'd go watch a World War II movie. I'd go watch Saving Private Ryan.
That was very safe. That was very safe. I was worried you were going to say anything else. I was like, "What? Oh, God, what is he going to say?"
I try to keep it contained. I kept it to war deaths. Okay. Homebody. I don't remember Homebody. You'd have to probably remind me what that one is.
So here, let's revisit what you were saying. So, BattleBit Remastered. If I'm not going to be able to convince you on it, I'm okay with cutting it. I think it's just cool they were able to do.
No, I think it's cool, but it's the same thing as PUBG. PUBG was a.
They were doing two completely different things. BattleBit Remastered is taking AAA and putting an indie coat on it.
But I get. Well, is Roblox really considered AAA? If that's the only thing they've ever done.
It's taking the gameplay, like the gameplay loop of a AAA game, and putting the coat. The coat is Roblox.
But I get that, but I'm saying, didn't technically PUBG do that with was the H1Z1 or whatever game I can't remember which one they came from originally. But they did that. Fortnite copied off of an indie.
Yeah, but Fortnite. You're getting me confused. You're making no sense at all.
Fortnite is the opposite of it. It is a AAA company that is taking the coat of an indie developer and putting it on.
BattleBit is indie as far as I'm concerned, and what they were doing.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it was very short-lived.
Well, and for us.
Okay, well, hear me out more. We have to pick 3.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving it on the list just because I hate your argument.
Fine, screw it. Skip it. Let's go. Come on, we gotta get through this list.
Let's see.
I gotta convince you to. I gotta get you down to at least 5.
El Paso Elsewhere we can cut. I want to spend more time with it. I think it'll have its day at Goaty. So, The Last Spell, beautiful box.
Great music. Nick, be honest. Minus the music and the box art, how did you feel about The Last Spell?
It's hard. It's a hard game. It's not easy. It's like that's the only thing that's kept me from going back is its difficulty.
Would you recommend any, like once again, not mentioning the art, not mentioning the music? Would you recommend it to a friend to play?
Yeah, if there was someone who liked hard games, yeah.
What if it's just like they're like, dude, I need a new game to play. You know, you kind of know me. What would you recommend? Would you
If,
recommend Blespel?
if they're a casual gamer, hell no, man.
I think that's your answer then, Nick.
Fucking casuals. I'm okay with cutting it because it's gonna win other stuff.
It already has.
Right. As much as I love Slay the Princess, I do think it can get cut here. It's not to say anything bad about Slay the Princess. It's just that I think there were 3 better games. Not better, but just 3 games that are going to win this category. And that's not one
Princess
of
has
them.
been slain.
We slayed the princess.
We saved the world.
That's the cheerleader, Josh. Kill the... Or wait, was it save the
Yeah,
cheerleader?
You save the cheerleader, save the world.
Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I know people are crazy for Jet Set Radio. I've never been that nuts about it. I do like its style. I like the music. I like the twist in like the first 20 minutes. I don't think it's going. I wouldn't call it the best indie game though.
Nick Jassant, you said you're climbing a mountain.
You're climbing a mountain. The story, like the thing I dislike about Jassant is like there are notes splayed around the world and like you gotta read. Like, I'm not saying I hate reading, but I just hate the way Jassant does notes and has the story being delivered through them. I do think we can cut it. It's a beautiful game though. I need to finish that climb. I'm listening to Miley Cyrus's The Climb as I'm playing that game, just on a loop. So take that as you will. So let's see what we've got left here. We've got Dredge, Planet of Lana, Chained Echoes, Lil Gator Game, Humanity, Homebody, Ugly, Thirsty Suitors, BattleBit Remastered, Cocoon. Man, that's a solid top 10 for Best Indie if we just want to stop there. No.
Well, I mean, like I said, I gotta get you down to 5. We cannot just sit here and go, oh, we're gonna keep these 10. They all did great, because then we have to figure out the order, and I'm not gonna do an order of 10.
Well, who are you going for? Who do you want to win this, Josh? If you had to pick 3 from this list. Yeah, ain't easy, is it, motherfucker?
Little Gator Game, Chained Echoes, see, this is right. The third one's gonna be the hardest.
Okay,
because I've talked shit. I've pretty much talked shit on the rest of them.
You have. You've been, and I've noticed.
Hey, one of us has to. I have to be the bad cop since you're being the good cop. Okay.
I'm the one doing the cuts. What are you talking about? Dredge. I like it. It's one of those games that I feel like it. I have to do it in little spurts. Like, you know, the appeal of it very early on, the fishing, the going out at night, getting scared, and it becomes an item check collection list like halfway through it, and it kind of starts to lose luster a little bit. So I'm okay with cutting Dredge. Zoop. I'm actually also okay with cutting Chained Echoes.
I mean, I need your reasoning. You're making me justify my shit. I want to hear you justify your shit. Yeah, see? Not easy, is it? How the tables have turned.
I mean, the easy answer is that there are other games on here that I like better.
Okay, Nick, okay, so you said you had 3.
Yeah.
So tell me, I want to hear. Tell me your 3. It doesn't have to be in any order. Just tell me. What are your 3?
So I'm actually going to pitch ditching Little Gator Game.
Okay.
Just because it's 2022, and it got a lot of praise back in Goaty, so like a lot of praise.
From you.
Yeah. But I'm not 100 on that. But so my top four, Little Gator Game, Homebody, Ugly, Thirsty Suitors.
Let the bullets fly.
Let the bullets fly. So I'm going to cut BattleBit Remastered because I was being petty when I added it back.
Petty motherfucker.
Let's see here. Humanity. The puzzles are fun. It's one of those ones that I go back and piecemeal it. If I play it for too long, my brain just starts to bleed, and that's not good for anybody. Fun game though. And then Planet of Lana is actually one that I beat recently, and I think this is going to be a strong contender in best moments. But it did feel very uneven. The game plays like a lot like Inside and Limbo. It's that side-scrolling movements, almost exactly the same. Your sister, you live on this planet. Your whole village is kidnapped by aliens. You befriend this little like monkey type creature that you use to help solve puzzles and hide from like the alien robots that are trying to kidnap you.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the ending, but yeah, like I said, I think the game was there was a little bit like in the middle where I was like, all right, come on, let's get through this. It was only 3 hours long, but like that feels like that middle hour just kind of dragged. So I'm okay
Yeah.
with cutting Planet of Lana. So we're down to six. We're down to the final six for best indie. We've got Chained Echoes, Little Gator Game, Homebody, Ugly, Thirsty Suitors, and Cocoon.
Nick, you give me one, I give you one from ourselves. I'll give you Little Gator Game to remove.
Okay, yeah, I mean, as much as I want to give it like the top billing, it got it in Godiso, and Godiso is like our bread and butter. Like everybody does Game of the Year. We're the only ones that do Godiso, so
That's fair.
I think Godiso is the better honor anyway.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Godiso, buy a Little Gator Game. We're down to five. Again, that's Chained Echoes, Homebody, Ugly, Thirsty Suitors, and Cocoon.
All right, Nick, time for you to give me one.
Category wise, Josh, you know what I've learned is that you need to play more indies, you son of a bitch.
No, I need to play more better indies. I've played indies, and some are not that good. Nothing against developers, because obviously they're doing more than I can. I can't sit here and develop a game. So kudos to you guys for putting your creativity to it. It's just some of them, I question.
Give you one what? Give you a game to cut?
Yeah, like I gave you a Little Gator Game, guys. So just do it. Pull the trigger. Cut the rope.
I think if we're following the same rule, I think Chained Echoes can go.
Aim for the bushes.
But you know what? At the same time, the more I think about it, the more Cocoon just pisses me off.
Why not both then?
Because I want, like, if we keep Homebody, Ugly, and Thirsty Suitors, like, I'm the only one represented on this list. This is our list.
Nick.
I need you to fight for somebody, Josh. I can do this all night.
Nick. Let it fly.
Josh, I need you to fight for somebody.
I'll fight for Homebody.
Shut the fuck up. You just told me you didn't know shit about that game. Get the fuck out of here.
I'll fight for Thirsty Suitors because you made that sound like a really fun game too. Definitely a game that I would never like, just from like the premise, never thought I would ever pick up. But after you described it and we've talked about it so much, I'm like, God damn, that actually sounds like a fun ass game.
I mean, I was really surprised. And you know what? When someone told me, like, oh, like, it's got, like, Yakuza vibes, I was like, don't tell me that. I don't need to get into these 20 Yakuza games. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, those games kind of make me want to get into it too. But then I tell myself, I couldn't even finish Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, Josh, get your shit together. So if Josh isn't going to fight, I'm just going to kick him while he's down and get rid of Chained Echoes and Cocoon.
Joke's on you.
So on this order, like, I can either see it being Ugly or Thirsty Suitors.
Like I said, Thirsty Suitors, like I said, was came out of nowhere. Wasn't expecting a game, and after you talked about it, like if it's to me, it's the equivalent of Slay the Princess. I would never would have picked it up, but after you've described it and after seeing what it is and what you can do, it's like, God damn it, I kind of want to play it. It's on my wish list.
The game looks good. It does. It's doing Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and I think it's doing it very well. There's skateboarding, there's cooking. The characters are really well written. Like, I think the characters like blow just about every other character out of the water this year.
I thought you're gonna end that with just below other characters.
Outside of Hi-Fi Rush, I think this has some of my favorite characters.
So
Man.
I guess the better question is who takes second and third.
Okay, so I see. Okay, I can. I'm talking myself into Thirsty Suitors in first. And then
Yeah,
Ugly and Homebody, like looking at both of those games are just so fucking heavy. Homebody's about like reconnecting with friends after years of isolation. It's about OCD. There's a time loop aspect of it, whereas Ugly is very literal. Like it's very mature game that looks like it's a braid, like a like an offset of braid, and it just deals with like people being ugly on the inside. Oh man, these games are all kind of a bummer at certain points. Wow, I think I need to go to therapy after all these games. So yeah, I think here let's move this up top. 'Cause I think this does win this category just because it's the least. It's the least a bummer out of the other two. I
still a
think it
bummer
goes
though.
Thirsty Suitors, Ugly Homebody.
I like that.
And I could get more into the stories of Homebody and Ugly, but they both are represented in best moments with some moments in there. So I'm not gonna repeat myself. But if you agree with this order, I'm okay with
I
this order
do.
as well. So here, let me make this guy bigger. Yeah. So for best indie, I did not see it ending this way. We have Thirsty Suitors, followed by Ugly and Homebody.
Nick, if it did end your way, all the games would still be on the list, and they would all be number ones.
I love them all. Well, hey, you know, I can be, Josh, I can be critical. Okay.
Yes, that's why I had to struggle for 40 minutes to get you to get down to three.
That's a big category, dude. There's a lot of indie
Oh,
games out
Nick,
there.
we've got bigger. We haven't even gotten to game of the year.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least we get to, at
Yeah.
least we're doing 10 on that one, so we can have a little more.
Yeah, but it's still going to be difficult because I mean, literally, what we just had on there is probably going to be on Game of the Year.
Just about all those, yeah.
Yeah. Do you see where I'm getting at? Like this and Game of the Year are the two biggest headaches for me because I have to fight you guys. I'm like, dude, I'm willing to make that sacrifice. I'm willing to send those men to their death.
And that is why this is your favorite time of the year. All right. We've got one more category for the day. It's best moment. You ready, Josh?
Hold on, let me take a sip.
Yeah, let me get a
All
sip
right,
too. Yeah, hold on.
I need some of H2O.
Hey, we're sipping. Let me get my carbonated H2O.
I just got regular H2O.
This is
I'm
gonna be
not.
a good one. This is gonna be a good one. I mean, my lid is no. Come on. Oh, here we go. All right. So best moment. The nominees are A Long Walk, Planet of Lana, The Ending, The Machine Swap Hands, Planet of Lana, Punish, No Sun to Worship, The Mound from Slay the Princess, Talking to the Mirror from Slay the Princess, Decapitation from Slay the Princess, Doing Nothing from Slay the Princess, The Reveal and the Bosses, Ugly, First Time Seeing the Killer, Homebody, The Twist, Homebody, Anime Boy from Dave the Diver, Icon Fights from Final Fantasy 16, Getting High in Jusant, The Final Boss from Hi-Fi Rush, Escaping the Tower in Pizza Tower, Hitting the Slopes in Blanc, Fishing at Night in Dredge, Falling Asleep on the Couch in Thirsty Suitors, The Fourth Orb, Cocoon, The Needle Drops in El Paso Elsewhere, all of Act 1 from Baldur's Gate 3, and Scaling the Strider in Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Let me double check we don't have any strays.
Yeah, I
Okay.
made sure. Yeah.
All right, that's a solid list right there.
Yeah.
Super fucking solid list. um let's see here. I think No Sun to Worship, we can remove the Punish. I thought it would be fun to write Punish on there. It's again, that's a cool moment because you think you're going up to save a guy, and instead you see the button prompt and it says Punish, and then you murder him. It's beautiful. It averts expectations, but it's gone.
I'll let you know right now. The two I threw in there, I'm definitely keeping. They're the fucking most fabulous moments ever.
All right, well, go ahead. Give us. Can I remember you talking about icon fights in Godiso? But go ahead. Talk about. Give me, refresh me, and then update me on what you've learned
Okay.
since.
Okay, so icon fights. Just a refresher for those who forgot or haven't played it. Essentially, the icons are like summoning. So you got like Ifrit, you've got Phoenix, you've got I mean literally every summoning out there. Shiva. I mean, I'm just fucking spitballing at this point. So
Do they still
essentially,
do they still do Bahamut and Neo Bahamut?
not really. It's just Bahamut. Um, so basically these people, there's certain like people who are like selected by the crystals who become these icons, who become these summonings, and your character Clive is essentially Ifrit. He is more like a forgotten icon because like no one's ever heard of him before. And essentially, you basically go around fighting other chosen people uh, and their icons. So essentially, like at one point, like you lose control, you fight Phoenix. You end up fighting um, Gala at one point. You end up fighting. I mean, literally, you fight just about a good chunk full of them, and it gets more and more epic every single time. Like the number one that everybody goes back to every time is Titan.
So I
Different
mean,
versus Titan. That's like I mean they're just so epic. It's like watching a movie, but at the same time essentially imagine playing Godzilla in the Final Fantasy world.
I like it. I think yeah, I think it sticks for right now.
And then scaling the Strider and Armor Core 6. All right, Nick. What's your favorite mech series ever?
I mean, it's a tie between Titanfall and Iron Harvest.
Okay. So let's go and use Titanfall as an example. Imagine being in your Titan. Imagine having to climb a machine that is basically 10,000 times bigger than it. And you have to fight it and destroy it.
Okay, so you're climbing this huge,
Actually,
huge, huge,
imagine
huge.
imagine an equivalence. Imagine Shadow of the Colossus, but with mechs.
It's
Your character is the mech, and you're fighting these Colossies.
it's reverse Halo 5. Halo 5 has you running down the Guardian. This has you going up.
Yes, and like literally, you're destroying parts of it. I won't like you take down one of its legs for it to be able to get crippled to start climbing it. Then you have to fight its defense systems to get on its back, and then you're trying to fight off its eye because it's like a laser cannon that will basically destroy you in one hit. But before you even get to that, you're going through this sandstorm to get to it. And as you're heading there, they're charging up it's charging up its laser and it's shooting rockets upon rockets at you.
Is this game hard?
I mean, not particularly. I mean, it's definitely they're trying to get like a little bit of like they're trying to get like the Dark Souls kind of like thing going with it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really not that hard. I think I only got stuck on one boss, and that's just because my build was shitty. I was trying to just do it as like a low build cost, and realized, okay, I actually have to upgrade my stuff. And then I was just destroying after that.
Well, now you've got me wanting to get into it. Yeah, I think it stays. I think we can cut El Paso elsewhere. The needle drops are great when the music hits in the middle of a level. It just feels great. I think I'm gonna be better able to convince you of that when we're actually playing the music tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm okay with cutting that for now. Uh, how much of Baldur's Gate 3 have you played, Josh?
Absolutely none of it.
All right, so Act 1. I mean, Act 1's been out for a while. Act 1 was basically the beta. I'm so bad with that word. That beta release. So it was the part of the game that they had so much time to work on and
Mm-hmm.
perfect. And a good chunk of that. So essentially, the game opens. You are on the Illithid ship. You've just got a parasite put in your brain. You crash, and you land near a druid-like camp and basement where there are a bunch of tiefling or refugees.
Mm-hmm.
And a good chunk of that first act is like settling like that conflict because the druids want them gone, the tieflings don't really want to go. You've also got a goblin camp nearby that's harassing them. You've also got this ransacked village nearby, and you've got the what was the other? You got a sea hag that's like kidnapping a woman on the south, and I forget what's going on up north. I think that there's like the little werewolf guys. They're not werewolves. They're a different kind, not a lichen either, but they've torn through like a shipment and. It's the craziest thing about Act One is that you can completely miss a party member, and not even like I went through my first time. I went through a good chunk of Act One with only 3 characters because I didn't realize that I could. First of all, I completely missed the guy in the portal. I just walked past it and kept going. I forget his name. And then the other folks, there's another I'm blanking on names really bad right now, which is good for today. I'll need to remember these for tomorrow when we get into best new characters. But I completely missed a bunch of characters and just played through most of Act One with only 3 and was nearly getting my ass beat in every situation. And I had a good laugh because I got through the biggest fight in Act One, which is like fighting off the goblin attack.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I went exploring and discovered like 3 characters that I had missed. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
That's depressing.
Because like the way I ended up winning that fight was there were canisters of grease everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and so what I was doing, I was like, I took them and I moved them into where all those goblins and other enemies were because they have spiders attacking with them as well, and I basically had to grease up the whole area and then set it on fire to kill all of them.
Jesus Christ.
And it led to me playing the game like that. Like anytime I got like a power to throw grease at somebody, I was fucking using it. And Act One just stuck with me so much, and I want to go back and play it again. I don't want to play the whole game again. I want to play Act One, and then just be done.
That's fair.
I think it can stay for now. Again, Dredge is one of those ones that you do it once or twice and you're fine. It kind of gets a little long in the tooth towards the end. I think we can cut Dredge here with Fishing at Night. Even though it gets really creepy, weird stuff starts happening. Little lights and whispers start playing around you. Rocks appear out of nowhere that weren't there before. Creatures of the night just go bump. It can go. I've got 2 climbing related ones. Pizza Tower and Jusant. Pizza Tower is like escaping a level, and then Jusant, the climb or getting high. Pizza Tower, like once you get to the end of a level, you have to escape it as fast as you can. And that's just a hectic, mad dash, you trying to remember the level. It's fun the first few times. I got to a point where I was like, okay, I get it. I don't want to do this anymore. But it's fun those first few times. And then Jusant, like after you've climbed for a while, it's always cool to just like look back down and see like, oh shit, I was down there. Like I was just down there a few minutes ago, and now I'm up here. And it's kind of baffling. It's a great looking game. I was surprised how noisy my PC was getting playing it.
Really?
But it's beautiful. You can see so far. I might have also had another app open in the background.
He's watching his furry porn.
Yiff. They're yiffing. I'm climbing their yiffing. Can I say yiffing on YouTube?
We're about to find out, I guess.
I guess we'll find out. We talked about hitting the slopes in Blanc at Cody.
Which was, I mean, it was cool. It's the one time you do it. It's the one time you do it.
It's a cool little reprieve. It's like, because the game, you're sitting there solving these puzzles, and then in the middle of it, it just throws this level at you where you're just sliding down the slopes together to this nice little piano tune. It can go. I don't have it on this list, but the Master's Pupil had that haystack level where it was just Monet's like collection of haystack paintings, and I think that's a beautiful moment because it really resembles when you found not your passion, but like the thing in art that is really resonating with you, and it feels like time just kind of they present the level as like a straight path, and you're just passing each one of those, as opposed to like
Mhm.
all the other levels are challenging and you're learning new things and learning how to adapt. This one is just you running through the level, walking past these paintings, and I thought that was a nice little moment in the game. um, just wanted to mention it here. uh, let's see here. Hi-Fi Rush, the final boss. That was a great final boss fight. They've got that Nine Inch Nails song playing. Yeah, I think it can go. I mean, it's a fun moment, very heated, but I just think they're having more heavy contenders on here. I actually think Final Boss won last time we did this, or it was close to the top.
It's close to the top.
Uh, man, I've got a lot of talking on all these up here. Fuck.
You just made so many. You're like, okay,
They're all so
well,
good. Dave the Diver, Anime Boy, is your weapon specialist. Anytime you upgrade a weapon, he does like a full animation of him like creating the weapon while he's like tipping his fedora to like his anime pillow or his anime posters. It's fun. It's a cool little moment. We'll keep that one
is
for
it?
now.
I say this is the best moment though.
You know what? It was the moment where I was like, okay, this fucking game, I love this. So I think it does stay for now. I've got two here for Planet of Lana. I don't think this first one sticks. Towards the end of the game, you just have this long straightaway, another straightaway. Who knew? And the sun is setting, and it's just beautiful. Your little monkey guy's running ahead. It really sat with me. I took a bunch of pictures, but it can go. The ending of Planet of Lana that I mentioned earlier tonight that I really liked was you get on the ship, you fight the final boss, which is just a bunch of button presses, and then you take over, like you end up taking control of all the robots.
Hmm.
And you like the whole time you're playing the game, you're like, okay, this is like a nature versus technology type story and the role that humanity plays in it. And on its most basic form, yeah, but you end up, so your village, and you save everyone from your village, you're all back in the village, like the beginning of the game. But this time everyone's using those robots to like do fishing and like, do task and do work. And you kind of see the beginning of, I don't know if it's like a hopeful ending or oh fuck, they're just going to fuck everything up with those. But I kind of liked how like middle of the road it was. I wasn't sure how to feel about it. But
Right.
I thought it was really cool seeing like okay, like now we're using those robots. How does that make us any better? But they seem to be using them in peaceful ways, but who knows? Humans, man.
It's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time.
This sons of bitches, they did it. They blew it up.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got four here from Slay the Princess. Let me see if I can narrow this down. It's not easy to talk about Slay the Princess, but I'm gonna try. So it's one of the, it's you end up in the woods, and this voice is like, "Hey, you have to go into this cabin and kill the princess to save the world," and that's it. That's all it's really saying to you. And you have a lot of choices, and one can be that you do absolutely nothing. So the voice would be like nag you, and you're like, "No, I'm gonna go," and you keep like getting lost in the woods until eventually you come to the cabin. But there's like hundreds of cabins, and then like the dimension splits, and the princess like becomes this three-headed princess, and then the game just kind of ends in that loop. There's time loops too.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
uh, and so the princess change. So like you'll finish a time loop, and then you get back, and you remember, but the voice doesn't remember.
Hmm.
And the princess will be different based on how you treated her that first time. And so like if you like were really nice, really real sweetheart with her, she'll be a damsel and she'll be smitten with you. If you are, I'm trying to think of one that stands out off the top of my head. So like the prisoner is one who you I believe you didn't like do something to help her, so she ends up even more chained up than she was before.
Oh.
And actually, it's funny I mentioned her because this can go straight into decapitation. She is so imprisoned that she's like, "Give me that knife. Give it to me. Give it here. I'm gonna cut myself free." She cuts her fucking head off, and throws it on the ground and then tricks you into taking her head outside to free her. And this moment sticks out more than anything for me because, Josh, I had your Steam Deck for about a month and a half here, and I played that. I played that moment on the plane, heading down to Texas, next to this wonderful, wonderful woman, this wonderful old woman who was like, "Oh, video games! I remember the Tetrises and all that stuff." It's like,
Did
yeah,
she
this
actually
is,
say that?
huh?
Did she actually say that?
No, I'm
Oh.
paraphrasing. She's
You
like,
got me a little
"Oh."
excited there.
She was like, "Oh, are you playing on a computer?" I was like,
Are
"Actually."
you winning, son?
And then Gabe Newell was behind us. He's like, "Actually, ma'am, it's a Steam Deck."
The plane would not be up in the air if that was the case.
Gabe was in seat 2. He refused to sit in, or he was in row 2. He refused to sit in row 3, in case you were wondering. He was supposed to be 2 rows behind us. But yeah, so that really caught me off guard. I think that was a special moment for me. I'm okay with taking decapitation out, though. Same with the mound. So once you reach the end of the arc with one of the princesses, a bunch of arms swallow her up, and then you end up in another dimension with this thing called the mound, which is every version of the princess wrapped into one. And that's when you learn the. And I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this for you,
Yeah,
Josh.
you've
Spoilers.
already. It's. I mean, you spoiled the shit out of it. Just
You'll
keep
forget
going.
all this. You'll get back and be like, "What? Huh? What's all this?" But the mound is like, I need you to bring me versions of the princess, and that becomes the rest of the game after you finish your first full loop. You're like, oh, I have to go back to the beginning and go collect another princess, and you do that a handful of times. And the things you do, the way you treat the princess, changes what type of princess she becomes for the mound. It's a cool twist. I don't think it sticks with this other one. So you collected all of the princesses that you needed to. You go back to see the mound for the last time, but before you do that, you look into a mirror and you see the narrator for the first time, and the mirror is like broken into pieces, and he's like, "Ask me any questions that you have about what's going on. I'll do my best to answer." And you ask a question, and like a piece of the mirror disappears, and you start to realize like, "Oh, okay. Every time I ask a question, a piece disappears." Then you after that you start to realize, oh, I don't have enough mirror pieces to ask all of these questions. So it kind of makes you sit there and like, what questions do I want to ask? And you don't even have to ask any, but it's just I thought it was this neat thing, and I think if one moment from Slay the Princess stays for right now, I think it's talking to the mirror
Okay.
because you're essentially killing the narrator with each. It's kind of sad. Again, this is another moment I played on the plane. I didn't cry. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, I'm almost through talking. Whew. Throat's getting a little sore. Ugly. Ugly is the braid like that I talked about. This has a mirror ability where you have yourself and then you have your reflection on the other side of the mirror, and you can switch places with it at any time. So you're in Ugly, you're in this big, decrepit castle, and you fight all these different bosses, and you're an ugly little guy, and there are these drawings that you see throughout the castle that, you know, um, communicate that like this is once the castle of a wonderful looking man who had this ugly baby with his I think she was a countess, and the baby's ugly, and you know you go through a lot of the game assuming like, oh, the baby is who we're playing as. We're getting stories of like the baby's come up and how his father treated him terribly because of the way he looked, made him wear a mask, killed his dog, killed his mom, stuff like that. And you get to the end and you put your mirror on a surface and it reflects over into the another mirror, and it actually shows that you were the father. And I thought that was a
Oh.
pretty cool reveal. I thought that was pretty neat because then it goes into the party where your accident happened and you became ugly. A fire causes you to just lose your looks. But then the other thing is, so you fight these 5 bosses, and you know, the thing that bugs me about a lot of games is that the bosses don't tie into like the themes of the game. You'll be playing a game. It's like, oh, fight this big bug over here. It's like, why? It's like, I don't know, just fight this bug.
Why not?
Why not? Fight it. Well, you know, so the first boss in this one is a mummy, like a big mummy guy. Second one's like or a pink goopy guy. So you get to the reveal, you find out you're ugly. You end up going through a loop of like walking like after your accident. The first level you're walking, you're wrapped in bandages because of it's after the accident and you're recovering.
Hmm.
So you're wrapped in bandages. You get to the second level and your character has like sloshes of paint and he's going up to every painting in the house and like painting over his face so he doesn't have to see how beautiful he used to be. And you're like, "Oh my god, the mummy? The paint blobby monster?" And it goes like that for every boss. And you're like, "Oh my god, all those bosses are related to what I just saw. That was really fucking cool."
That
And
was
the
pretty
game
cool.
continues later on. I think there's some things after that that I'm like, I can take it or leave it. But I thought the reveal and the tying the bosses into it was really cool. Homebody, I'm gonna nominate less things next year.
Yeah.
Homebody. Um, so Homebody, you are estranged from your friends. You guys are getting together to watch a meteor shower, and you rented. I forget what year it is. I think it's in the 90s, or it might be modern day. But you're in basically a rental home, and you're sitting there talking to your friends, and then the clock strikes. I want to say it was 9 or 10, and a killer pops out, and you have no idea this is gonna happen. You have no idea. Like you're just walking through the house, and it's old like Resident Evil like camera angle type stuff. And so like the first time I'm walking through the hallway and like on the main floor, and I see this motherfucker in this sheep mask like in a raincoat walk out with a knife in his hand, and I fucking jumped because I had no idea that was gonna fucking happen. Two of my friends are dead on the floor. Fucking, he's chasing me through the house. Your heart starts to race. You get a little camera pop up on the screen that like looks at your character's face, and she's terrified, and he kills me, and I'm like, fuck, I just failed, like the game is over. Wrong. Wrong. It's a fucking time loop game. It's a fucking time loop game.
God damn it.
And so you have to go through the house, solve all these puzzles. You're the only one that remembers shit. Everyone else is like, ha 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 ha, we're just dumb idiots in a time loop. And it's a game that deals with OCD. Again, I don't want to use too much time because I've already used so much. I think that twist of it being a time loop game and dealing with a character who has OCD is really fucking clever, and I would like to keep that for now. I think we can cut the fourth orb in Cocoon. So you're balancing these three orbs throughout most of the game. You're going through collecting them, and then you're like, okay, I got all my orbs, and then the game's like, nuh-uh, and
No,
then it
you're
pulls
not.
you out, and you're like, oh my god, another fucking orb! What? What? You're telling me there was another one? And I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a fourth one? Are you writing something in? I see you typing.
Yeah. And yeah, give me a second. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
While you're doing that, I think there's one more on here that I have to talk about, and that is falling asleep on the couch in Thirsty Suitors. And
Yes,
this
what
is
happens
a
when you fall asleep on the couch, Nick? Tell us.
this is really sweet, and maybe I'm a little biased because I'm a dad now, but so this is Thirsty Suitors. You fight like one of your exes, and you'll do like a bunch of missions throughout the day, and then you'll go home at night. Like your mom's already asleep, your dad's on the couch watching TV, so you just go up to him, you slide up next to him on the couch and watch TV. You'll kind of like talk about like what happened that day. He'll give you like some real nice life lesson or crack a joke, or like, hey, watch this war documentary with me. And then as the conversation ends, your character Jala falls asleep, head on his shoulder, and the game's music is playing. It's really sweet, and he piggyback carries you up to your bedroom, and then the next day starts, and it's just the sweetest little moment. It got to the point where I was looking forward to it every time, like other moments I've mentioned, like after the first time I was over it. Every time I was like, no, I want Pati to carry me upstairs. Like, this is really sweet. I really like catching up with him. I have a father.
Damn.
I like keeping that moment. I'm okay with cutting Dave the Diver anime boy.
I'm okay going ahead and knocking out Scaling the Strider.
Over, do you like Icon over Strider?
Oh, the icon fights are so fucking cool. I could watch them over and over again. The Strider gets boring after like the second time.
I'm. Let's see here. I think one that I'm really gonna champion here is the one from Thirsty Suitors because it's just a good fucking moment in a game that's full of great characters. Um, okay with cutting Planet of Lana and Slay the Princess. I think those are both amazing moments. I think they're both great. Enjoyed the hell out of both games. Let's see. So then we're down to five. For best moment, we've got the reveal and the bosses in Ugly, the twist in Homebody, the icon fights in Final Fantasy 16, falling asleep on the couch in Thirsty Suitors, and Act 1 in Baldur's Gate.
I think Act 1 of Baldur's Gate can probably go. Baldur's Gate does not need any help.
No, it's gonna win plenty of stuff. And Act 1's been around for a while. I mean, I was surprised by it. I can't believe, like, it's been a few months since I've played, but I basically just described like every area within Act 1 to you when I was describing it. And I think the cut here is going to be either Homebody or Ugly. And I've already made my case for both of them. In me talking, which one stood out to you more?
I kind of like the reveal plus the bosses for Ugly.
You think
that's
so?
what? Yeah, I mean that. I like a whole story that goes full circle like that.
I do too. It felt like very open and closed. I'm glad that I've spoiled all these games for you too. By the way,
yes, thank you for that.
How do we want to order these? I'm okay with Icon going first because it just sounds like it's a big, bombastic, like AAA moment that we don't get a lot of anymore.
I mean, here, let me just do this real quick. I probably should take that in. Let me do.
Are you adding a moment, you sick son of a bitch?
No, I'm not that crazy, sir. I'm not that crazy.
I'm not that crazy.
All right, I need to go back into here. Go ahead and click that button real quick, sir.
Oh, it's a link. It's a link. I'm gonna kill the tunes here. Is this all the fights?
This is all of them, but literally, you can pick any part of it. I mean, there's just something about them. First off, like I said, there's moments where you're either you're just your normal self and you're fighting them, but then there are moments when you turn into the icon itself and you are fucking destroying the area around you. So like, skip this part because this is just him powered down. He's fighting. I forget her name. I mean, tell me this doesn't look fucking epic.
It looks great. Hold on. Sorry.
I mean, literally, you were just like, this is a beautiful field that you've now obliterated between the both of you.
Which one? Who is that?
This is Ifrit and I forget her name. It is she is Benedicta. I forget what her actual icon name is, but she's just an asshole, basically. You know what you would like, and it's I think it's towards the end. It's the Ifrit and Phoenix versus Bahamut and Ultima. I'm sorry, Ifrit, Phoenix, and Bahamut versus Ultima. It's probably the Bahamut one, yeah. You're in fucking space.
They're in space.
You're in space. I mean, literally, I think the last time I was like, this shit's fucking awesome was Ashura's Wrath.
Okay, let me. I think this takes first. I do want to show you the Thirsty Suitors moment.
No, please. I want to see it.
I'll actually turn the volume on. Oh, there's a guy on the TV. He'll get out.
That's okay. We'll ignore him.
Say goodnight.
I want to say goodnight.
No luck finding your sister today, Jalawala?
No, but I talked to Auntie Chandra. She looks well.
Chandra's been fixing up skateboards for those kids in the abandoned amusement park.
Sounds like her.
She missed you, Jala. I'm not saying that to guilt you. There are people who love you in this town. More than you think.
Yeah, that's the problem.
What are you watching?
Oh, some of your old basketball games. I taped them all. This one's from junior high. You made that great free throw. See?
Sorry, folks. I know it's quiet. We're just watching.
Oh, we've already. Oh, are we? Are we going to bed? Okay.
Don't let this stupid
Oh.
YouTuber ruin it for you.
He didn't. I'm just.
I take that back. His name is also Nick. Sorry, fellow Nick. I'm the asshole.
It was just. I mean, it was like I agree. That was like very, very sweet.
Very sweet moment. Very sweet family moment.
I could definitely see that being number 2. Like, it almost honestly makes me a little jealous. Be honest. Does it not make you jealous?
I'll carry you to bed, Josh.
Thanks, Dad.
All right. So best moment. It looks like we have our winners. First place, we have Icon Fights from Final Fantasy 16. Second place, we have Falling Asleep on the Couch and Thirsty Suitors. And then in third place, bringing up the rear, we have the reveal plus the bosses in Ugly. Hey, day 2. It's over. We did it. We
Survived.
We survived. A quick recap. We did best cover and box art with the winner. Hey, Last Spell held on to its championship belt. Congratulations, Last Spell. Followed up by Slay the Princess and Killer Frequency. We had best indie with Thirsty Suitors taking the crown, followed by Ugly and Homebody. And then best moment, Icon Fights in Final Fantasy 16 taking the crown, followed by Falling Asleep on the Couch and Thirsty Suitors, and the reveal and the bosses in Ugly. Hey, Thirsty Suitors, Homebody, and Ugly all had a really good day today.
Yes, they did.
Like, I did not go in expecting those to be the games that like I was championing. But like once we got going, I was like kind of talking myself.
Like I
into some
said,
of
when
them.
it comes to the indie games, you're just like, everybody deserves to win. It's like, Nick, we have to pick 3 though. You make these rules.
I'm the indie whisperer. All right, hey, for day 3 tomorrow, we've got 3 new categories for you. Tomorrow, we've got best song. So that'll be a fun one, so have your headphones ready to go for those. We'll have best new character, and we'll have best announcement / game of the year for 2024. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves on that one. So that'll be tomorrow, and then, hey, Thursday, come back. It's just game of the year. We're going to pick our top 10 games. We're going to do it all here. We're going to pick them out. And then don't forget, New Year's Day, we have a special secret list that we're doing. Again, your hint there is Ricky Tikki Tavi. Ricky Tikki Tavi. Hey, everyone, this has been Smashing Game Time. I hope you all had a smashing great time. We'll see you all tomorrow. See what I did there? I changed it up.
I know. You're going too fast. I was going so slow.
Bye, everybody.